my name is Jane Vickers, and I'm a sister of Chi Omega Sorority, and I'll be reading The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today, where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before someone lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, the old oncer still lives here. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the onceler, don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkin', on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkin', cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes, out of the muffer moof. And on special dank midnights in August he peeks, out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss some 50 cents in a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes the most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid for away in his snove, his strange, strange hole, in his groverless glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, from the secrets I tell you are for your ears alone. Slap! Down slaps the whisper my phone to your ear, and the old onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had a smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth grinning, sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days where the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swami swans ran out in space. One morning I came to this glorious space, and I first saw the trees, the truffler trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffler trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees, I saw brown barloats frisking about in the barloat suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffler fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, Joe's truffler trees. All my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what to do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffler tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a theme. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gadzump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him, that's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mosey, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpest and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, "What's that thing you've made out of my truffle or tuff?" "Look, Lorax," I said, "there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. The thing is a thing. A thing's to find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains or covers for bicycle sheets." The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy that fool thing." But the very next minute I proved he was wrong. For just one at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the thing I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. "You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what people will buy." "I repeat," cried the Lorax, "I speak for the trees." "I'm busy," I told him. "Shut up if you please." I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radiophone. I put in a quick call. I called on my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, "Listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch, turn left at Week Haken, sharp right at South Stitch." And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting beans, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which was whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making things 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown bear belotes, who played in the shade in their brown botelote suits, and happily lived, eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruit to go round, and my poor barbaloots are getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of the crummies in the tummies, you know. I meant no harm. I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads. I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. Of the things I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more things, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes, when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and whiffed. He sneezed and snuffed, he snarled, he sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a crupperless croak, "Onceler, you're making such smogless smoke. My poor smomy swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog on their throats." "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or year to escape from the smog you've smuggled up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax, his danger was up. Let me say a few words about the gloopery glup. Your machinery clugs on, one day and night without stop, making glubberly glup, also scoppily scop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are glummed. Some sending them off, oh, their future is dreamy. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary, in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm fidgering on bidgering, and bidgering and bingering and bingering, turning more truthful trees into themes which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truthfully tree of them all. No more trees, no more themes, no more work to be done. So in time, my uncles and aunts and everyone all waved me goodbye. They jumped in my cars and drove away under the smoke-snug stars. Now all that was left near the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad backward glance, as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face, when he hesitated himself and took leave of this place, through a hole in the mug, without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in the mess was a small pile of rocks, with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years while my buildings have fallen apart, I'm worried about it with all my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seemed perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, says the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a troopulus need. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last troopulus seeds. And truffula trees are what everybody needs. Plant a new truffula. Treat it with care. Give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest. Protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. The end.